How can a small silver statue, maybe just a few inches tall, unlock 5,000 years of history? And myth and art from ancient Iran. It sounds almost like the start of an adventure story, doesn't it?
It really does. It's amazing what these small objects can tell us.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're focusing on one absolutely incredible artifact, the kneeling bull with vessel. It's this small, ancient silver figurine. And our deep dive today is built on some fantastic sources. We've got museum descriptions from places like the Met, the V&A.
Top institutions.
Exactly. And scholarly articles, too, digging into bull symbolism, hybrid creatures in Mesopotamia, ancient Iran, from experts like Emma Loftus-Husseina, Christina Kilgrove, Patrick Hunt.
Yeah, some really solid research there.
So our mission really is to explore this captivating piece, try to unravel its mysterious purpose and understand that whole rich cultural background of bull symbolism and these hybrid creatures that were so important in the ancient Near East.
It's a fascinating world to step into.
Prepare to be amazed by an ancient artistic marvel.
And it truly is a marvel. I think what's really crucial to grasp right away is just how significant animal symbolism was back then.
Right.
Animals weren't just, food or for work. They were deeply tied into religion, rituals, even identity. And the Proto-Elamite culture, they had this really unique, often quite astonishing contribution, especially with these hybrid creatures.
Okay, so let's really dive into this kneeling bull with vessel then. We're talking about a 5,000-year-old silver statuette.
5 millennia. It's hard to even wrap your head around.
It really is. And it's small, about 6.4 inches, 16.3 centimeters tall.
Yeah.
But striking for its size.
Definitely.
It comes from the Proto-Elamite culture, right? Flourishing around 3,100 to 2,900 BCE.
That's correct. The earliest known civilization in Iran, basically, centered in ancient Elam, southwestern Iran today, around the city of Susa.
And the craftsmanship, wow. It's made of 98.5% pure silver.
Which is just incredible for the Copper Age.
Exactly. It says so much about their metallurgy skills, their dedication.
Absolutely. And what's truly fascinating here, I think, is how these Proto-Elamites were just master sculptors of animals. Their skill wasn't just realism, but creating these hybrid beings with a realism that, honestly, it still kind of evokes astonishment today.
And this figurine is a perfect example of that blend, isn't it?
It really is. You've got the bovine head, those curved horns, but then it rests on very human-like shoulders and a torso.
Right, and it's dressed in a decorated robe covering kneeling legs.
Exactly. And then the arms, they look human-like, but they end in hooves.
Hooves?
Holding a spouted vessel. It's this incredible mix. It really speaks to a worldview where maybe the lines between natural and supernatural were much more fluid.
So this wasn't just a one-off weird statue. This idea of animals in human postures was common for them.
Oh, yes. Quite central to Proto-Elamite art. It seems to reflect a really rich, complex spiritual understanding, where the human and animal worlds were deeply connected, meaningful.
Like other examples exist.
Definitely. There's the famous Proto-Elamite reclining gilded silver mountain goat from Susa. That one even has a gilded human-like beard.
Wow.
And a silver antelope or ibex pendant, or the limestone Gwenol lioness, which stands upright like a human, but is clearly a lioness.
So it's a whole artistic theme, this blending.
Precisely. It shows how they used art to express some pretty profound ideas.
Which naturally leads us to the big question about this kneeling bull.
Yeah.
Its purpose. You look at it, this strange mix of forms. Well, what was it for?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
And there are some physical clues, right? Things about the object itself.
Yes, some very intriguing clues. For one, it's hollow.
Okay.
And inside, they found 5 small limestone pebbles, deliberately placed inside.
Pebbles. Interesting.
And there were traces of animal fiber stuck to the outside, suggesting maybe it was wrapped in something. Cloth, perhaps.
Huh.
And here's a big one. It has no flat base.
No flat base. So it couldn't stand up on its own.
Exactly. Not on a hard, flat surface anyway. These details, they're not random. They're like pieces of a puzzle.
So these clues, the pebbles, the fibers, no base.
Yeah.
What are the theories? What do scholars think it was used for?
Well, that's where it gets really interesting. The main theories are quite compelling. First, those internal pebbles strongly suggest it might have been a ritual rattle.
A rattle. Makes sense with the pebbles.
Right. A Met conservator, Kate Lefferts, confirmed those 5 pebbles back in the 70s. So that really boosts the rattle idea. You can almost imagine the sound it made in some ancient ceremony.
Yeah, you can. But what about the other clues? The lack of a base, the fibers.
That points towards a second really intriguing possibility, that it was a foundation figurine.
Yeah.
meaning it might have been intentionally buried during the construction of a temple, maybe wrapped in cloth, to sort of symbolically mark the ground as sacred.
Buried. So
Oh,
never meant to be seen again.
potentially. If that's the case, yes. It was a common practice in the ancient Near East, burying objects ritually to give a building symbolic power or protection.
Wow. Making something so detailed just to bury it.
It speaks volumes about their beliefs, doesn't it? There's also a third idea, that like other Proto-Elamite art, it represented a figure from mythology, maybe a character in lost stories, or a symbol of natural forces.
So it could be a rattle, or something buried for protection, or a mythic figure, or maybe even a combination.
It's very possible it served multiple roles, perhaps used as a rattle in a ritual, then buried as a foundation deposit. These ancient objects often had layered meanings and functions. It's part of what makes them so enigmatic.
Right, and this shows the figurine wasn't just some isolated curiosity. It plugs into this much bigger picture of how important the bull was across the whole region, like ancient Iraq, Mesopotamia.
Exactly. The symbolism of the bull was absolutely pervasive.
And it goes way back, doesn't it? Like, bull domestication started thousands of years earlier.
Oh yes, 8th millennium BCE, places like the Jarmo culture. But it quickly went beyond just the practical side.
Yeah, obviously crucial for food, farming, transport, but they became central to religion too.
Absolutely central. Even ancient laws, like Hammurabi's code, they set out wages for renting bulls, serious penalties for harming them. Shows how integrated they were.
So when we zoom out, what did the bull mean to them, symbolically?
It meant so many things. First and foremost, raw strength, power.
The wild bull image.
Precisely, that physical prowess, that ferocity. You often see bulls fighting lions in their art, maybe representing cosmic struggles, good versus evil, that sort of thing.
Okay. Strength. What else?
Fertility, hugely important. The bull as the matrimonial consort of the cow, the masculine principle in nature. It complemented the mother goddesses.
Ah, right.
The horns, especially, were linked to regenerative power. Think of Tammuz, the fertility god often symbolized by the bull.
And divinity itself, right? Weren't bulls linked to major gods?
Consistently, we're talking the big names, Anu, the sky god, and Enlil, the great wild bull, king of the gods, god of air, Sin, the moon god, called the small, powerful bull of the sky.
Wow, even the moon god.
Even powerful goddesses like Inanna or Ishtar sometimes used bull symbolism. Nergal, god of the underworld and war, called the great wild bull. Edad, the storm god, often shown standing on a bull.
So it crossed all these different domains of power.
Absolutely. And you even see it reflected in the god's attire. Those horned crowns, sometimes multiple pairs of horns, became a distinct symbol of deity, worn by gods and eventually adopted by powerful kings too, like Nebuchadnezzar, Ashur-Nisirpal.
So it's power, fertility, divinity.
Yeah.
What about protection?
Yes, that too. Bullheads, amulets with bulls, were believed to protect the wearer, push evil away, transfer the bull's power.
And they were used in rituals, sacrifices.
Very much so. Wild bulls were offered at temples. White bulls were apparently preferred for New Year rituals, maybe for cleansing sins. And these sacrifices often involved music, specifically harps.
Leading to harps decorated with bullheads.
Exactly. It all ties together, weaving this powerful symbol into their most sacred acts.
So building on that deep well of symbolism, they started creating even more complex figures, right? These hybrid creatures.
Yes, moving beyond the animal itself to these composite beings.
Like the man bull, Kusariku.
That's one key example. A human head and torso, but with the horns and legs of a bull.
And we see those pretty early on.
Yeah, on cylinder seals from around 2800 BCE, often shown in conflict scenes. Some think they might represent figures like Gilgamesh and Enkidu fighting.
Enkidu, wasn't he described sort of like a man bull? Wild, hairy.
Exactly. Covered in hair, living with wild animals fits the archetype. The man bull also shows up as a follower of the sun god, helping carry his standard.
And the bull of heaven from the Epic of Gilgamesh.
Right. Created by Anu because Ishtar was angry with Gilgamesh. That bull symbolized something more destructive: drought, despair, uncontrollable strength. It connects to why Assyrian kings made such a big deal out of the royal bull hunt, taming that wild power.
Okay, so from the man bull, we get to maybe the most famous one, the Lamassu.
Ah, yes, the human-headed winged bull. Truly monumental figures.
First found by Layard in the 19th century.
That's right, 1886. Their main job, you could say, was protection. Garrison spirits guarding city gates, palace entrances, temples, keeping evil out.
But they were more than just statues, weren't they? Like physically part of the building.
Yes, they were often architectural elements designed to support arches, but also huge symbols of Assyrian power, political propaganda, really. They'd often carve inscriptions on them detailing the king's conquests.
And the symbolism of the lamassu itself is incredibly layered, right?
Yeah.
Each part means something.
Exactly. It's a masterpiece of composite symbolism. The human head, often wearing that horned crown we mentioned, signifies reason, wisdom, kingship.
Okay.
The bull body brings the strength, the stability, the fertility aspect.
Right.
The huge eagle wings represent dominance over the sky, speed. Sometimes you even see lion claws for ferocity, imperial might.
Or even a fishtail.
Occasionally, yeah, signifying power over water, wisdom perhaps associated with the watery depths. It's this incredible blend.
So putting it all together, what does the lamassu represent overall?
It represents control over everything, the atmosphere, heaven, earth, water. It embodies the symbols of the major Mesopotamian gods. Anu for heaven, Enlil for air, Enki for earth and water. It conveyed this idea of absolute perfection, a belief that the universe wasn't static, but as they saw it, full of vitality. It's a profound statement about their cosmic understanding.
Wow. It's so much more than just a cool-looking statue.
So much more.
So let's bring it back to our little kneeling bull. Where is it now? Can people see it?
Yes, they can. The kneeling bull with vessel is currently part of the collection at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City, in their ancient Near Eastern art section. It was acquired way back in 1966.
And it gets around a bit. Exhibitions.
It does. It's definitely a highlight. It was featured in the Epic Iran exhibition at the V&A in London in 2021.
I remember hearing about that one.
And it's actually scheduled to be part of the Met at the Louvre in Paris running into 2025. So yeah, this small silver bull continues to travel and captivate audiences.
That's great. Now, you mentioned it's in New York.
Yeah.
Does that ever come up in discussions, like where artifacts belong?
It does, yes. Its progress in the U.S., like many artifacts from antiquity held in Western museums, does sometimes spark conversations about repatriation.
Okay.
There are voices arguing that it's, quote, irreplaceable property of the Iranian nation and that returning it would help restore cultural sovereignty.
Right.
These are, important and complex discussions that happen around cultural heritage and where these incredibly significant pieces should reside. It's an ongoing dialogue.
Absolutely. Well, what an incredible journey this tiny figurine has taken us on. From its creation 5,000 years ago in Proto-Elamite Iran, through these grand myths, powerful symbols across Mesopotamia, right up to today being part of these global exhibitions and cultural conversations.
It's quite the story for such a small object.
It really is. It just underlines how deeply animals, and especially the bull, were woven into their art, their religion, their whole way of seeing the world, from this kneeling bull to the massive lamassu.
It truly makes you reconsider the stories that might be held within objects we see every day.
Yeah.
And maybe, here's a thought to leave you with. If this one, small silver bull, can unfold such a vast tapestry of history, myth, and human understanding, what other hidden stories, what deeper meanings might be waiting inside other seemingly simple objects all around us? If only we knew how to look a bit deeper into their history, their context. How might our own world, our modern lives, be enriched if we understood more about the profound symbolism our ancestors imbued in things?